I'd like to call the meeting to order for the Amherst Exempted Village Board of Education. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Mrs. Giuffrida.
Mr. Engel?
Here.
Mrs. Gillis?
Here.
Mrs. Snyder?
Here.
Mr. Yacobozi?
Here.
Mr. Zappa?
Here. So we'll move on to the election of president and vice president this evening. I would like to open the floor for nominations for president of the school board. I'll nominate Ron. Any other nominations? Hearing none, consider the nominations closed. Mr. Engel, how do you vote?
That's, I do that.
Huh?
I
Oh,
do
you?
that.
Oh, because you said earlier. Okay.
Okay. Take a motion to close
No.
nominations.
No, you don't.
No more?
No, you never did. Now, I ask each board member who they vote for, and know it's a formality since we only have one nomination. Mr. Engel?
Ron.
Mrs. Gillis?
Ron.
Mrs. Snyder?
Ron.
Mr. Zappa? And Mr. Yacobozi, who do you vote for? Okay.
And I will do the oath of office for Mr. Yacobozi and Mrs. Giuffrida. Will you miss that?
We're just going to do it long distance. Mr. Yacobozi, repeat after me. I, Ron Yacobozi, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as board president in and for the said Amherst Exempted Village School District, Lorraine County, Ohio, to the best of your ability and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office and until your successor is chosen and qualified. We'll sign these after. Mr. Yacobozi is now going to be the president and will take over the meeting.
Here you are, Mr. Yacobozi.
Are you good on
In
you?
case you need a club for anybody.
Start with you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'd like to open the nominations for vice president.
I'll nominate Mark Zappa.
You're nominating myself.
Yes.
Okay. And the nominations, no, Mrs. Giuffrida.
Mr. Zappa, please raise your right hand.
Voting?
You want to vote?
Oh, yes, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Making a huge assumption. Okay. Mr. Engel, who do you vote for?
Mr. Zappa.
Mrs. Gillis.
Mr. Zappa.
Mrs. Snyder.
Mr. Zappa.
Mr. Yacobozi.
Mr. Zappa.
And Mr. Zappa. Okay, we'll do long distance oath again. Mr. Zappa, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as Board Vice President in and for the said Amherst Exempted Village School District, Lorraine County, Ohio, to the best of your ability and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office and until your successor is chosen and qualified. Very good. We'll sign these afterwards. Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations.
Okay, I would like to set the dates, times, and locations for our regular meeting for 2021. We've all been given the sheet, give you some idea what the plan is. Any problems with we have there? Again, it's subject to change throughout the year as our needs occur. The case is this smaller than we anticipate, we do have to make changes. Basically, we have our meeting dates already planned out, and we can see from the sheet what's part of the agenda.
We do need to come to an agreement on the January meeting.
Yes.
Mrs. Giuffrida wasn't available on the 20th, and I think Mr. Engel's not available on the 19th, correct?
No, 21st
Oh,
on
the
Thursday, that's the JDS.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I had it backwards.
I'm, the JDS board meeting is at 6 o'clock.
Are we saying the 20th is the only day that we got a full board?
The 19th.
19th? That work for everybody? Yes, will be. Anything else?
There was a date in May, I think I was available.
I think was it March, Teresa?
I can try
I
to
think you said March.
I was thinking it was March, but
Okay.
I may have looked at the wrong month.
Yeah, it's March 22nd, I'm not available.
Yeah, they were March 22nd.
I'm not available on March 22nd.
They're-
Any other day, I mean, I can do Tuesday that week, whatever, but just not that one.
What your meeting, Steve?
It really doesn't matter to us. The following Monday, if you wanted to stay on a Monday, is the 29th, and I believe that might be spring break. I'd have to double
It is.
check the calendar. So if you wanted to stay on a Monday,
The week before.
I would suggest either the 15th or the 8th of March. But again, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if that, whatever works for the board.
The 22nd is a Monday, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We go to the 23rd,
Yeah, that's fine.
go to 23rd.
Thank you.
That's in March or in March?
Yes,
So Tuesday, March 23rd.
yes.
Anything else?
I would just add, if it's okay, you may wonder why you see Powers Elementary twice for 2021, and the one here this month is just to kind of pick up, as you recall, our December meeting was scheduled originally to be at Powers Elementary, and I know Brian had a good news report put together, and out of fairness to Powers, we thought we should, come back and have, have our next meeting there at Powers. So wanted to kind of clarify why you see Powers on the list there twice. So
Okay, I don't believe that requires any kind of motion, that's pretty much it. We're agreed. Item, the administrative standing committee, has anyone seen that? I don't think much of that has changed from the prior years. Any comments on the board on any of that? I'm fine with it. Those are essentially committees, if I recall, Steve, that are appointed by the superintendent.
administrative committees.
Right. Any comments? If not, we're going to move on. I guess, Steve, were you to take over now?
Yeah, the item 7 there, 7A through 7Z, actually, I guess it is. Actually, this is a combination of items that provide Amy and I with the authority to carry out various functions on a day-to-day basis. And as I recall, in looking through this, I think this list is identical to the list that was approved last year at this time. So again, these are the items that allow us to handle things expeditiously between board meetings as various situations arise. But again, similar resolutions, actually identical resolutions to what we've approved in the past.
I just have a comment about item X. It says, I'm authorized as treasurer to establish petty cash or change funds as needed up to $2,650. And if you look at the cash reconciliation, currently that amount is only $650, $500 being a change fund for athletics, and $150 is petty cash for the treasurer's office. Normally it is $2,650 because that which is provided for athletics used to be $2,500. But now that we have Stripe, which is online ticketing, we don't have that large change fund. We can leave that as is here, just to provide that latitude in case we no longer use Stripe. So just wanted to clarify.
Any other comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion for item 7.
Yes, Amy and I would both like to recommend approval of items 7A through 7Z.
Your motion?
Second.
Mark, your second. Teresa, discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Zappa? Mrs. Gillis?
Aye.
Mrs. Snyder?
Aye.
Mr. Engel?
Aye.
And Mr. Yakobozzi?
Aye. This looks like your baby, but Amy.
Yes, item 8 is approval of the tax budget, and you all have the tax budget in front of you, and then Michael is going to put the tax budget up on the screen. We've changed a little bit this year as opposed to January 2020, in that last year there was an organizational meeting, then the tax budget hearing, and then a regular meeting for January. In the regular meeting for January, it's customary for the board to approve the tax budget. But since we were changing the date for the regular board meeting to later in the month, we changed the tax budget hearing. We had that at noon today. We made a notation on the website. It is not a public meeting of the board. So Mr. Sayers and I invited anybody who would like to come. And we invited a few people that just didn't want to stay at it. But anyways, given the topic, the tax budget, it's an exercise that the treasurer has to do every year. The board approves it every year, and it is provided then to the county auditor on or before January 20th. And what happens then is the basis of the tax budget becomes the original certificate for the following year beginning July 1st. So you've seen this in this particular format many years running. I could really go into a great deal of detail as to how I arrived at these numbers, but I don't think you all want to hear that. So, does anybody have any specific questions about it? Okay. Here it is. There it is.
Would you recommend recommending a motion to approve item 8?
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion? Motion, Teresa, second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Engel.
Aye.
Mrs. Gillis. Mrs. Snyder. Mr. Zappa. Mr. Yacobo.
Anything else to come before the board this evening? Not entertain a motion to adjourn. Teresa, is there a second?
Second.
Valerie, discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gillis. Mrs. Snyder.
Aye.
Mr. Engel. Mr. Zappa. Mr. Yacobo.
Aye.